Hello there you guys, welcome to one of my videos. Going to be giving you my player ratings from Manchester United's 2-0 win against Burnley at Old Trafford in the Carabao Cup 4th round. So start with the man between the sticks, Martin Dubravka. I'm going to give him just a 4 out of 10. He looks very shaky in that first half. You can say he improved in the second half. He did make some decent saves. Martin Dubravka's now made a few appearances for Man United. Dubravka is on loan at Man United from Newcastle until the end of the season. Right back, Aaron Wan-Bissaka. I'm going to give him a 7 out of 10. Put in a superb cross for Christian Eriksen's goal. It was Aaron Wan-Bissaka's first goal assist since May 2021. And Aaron Wan-Bissaka also got forward well in the game, and I thought defensively he was good. We had to put Aaron Wan-Bissaka at right back because obviously Diego Dalot is not available at the moment as he's out with a hamstring injury. Don't forget Bissaka played in the 1-0 defeat to Real Betis the other week, and he played in the 4-2 defeat to Cadiz. But he has improved since he's been recalled. I think there's a good chance that Bissaka will be leaving the club next year. Fabrizio Romano provided an update not so long ago, and he said that Man United are trying to find a solution to let Aaron Wan-Bissaka leave. I think we're looking for a loan. With an option to buy or an obligation to buy at the end of the loan. West Ham are interested in signing Aaron Wan-Bissaka on loan. Wolves have been in for him. Leeds have been in for him. He could be making a return to Crystal Palace. Well, he was at Crystal Palace before he came to Manchester United. Bissaka for Man United has made, around 128 appearances and scored 2 goals. He's under contract with the club until 2024. Man United got Aaron Wan-Bissaka in a deal worth 50 million. But yeah, he deserves a 7 out of 10. Maybe some United fans would give him more than 7 out of 10. Moving on to Casemiro, I'm going to give him a 7 out of 10. It looked like he'd played at centre-half for his entire career. Casemiro obviously was playing at centre-half yesterday night alongside Lindelof, so reflecting on that, Casemiro was in an unfamiliar role. Casemiro did make a good goal line clearance. Manchester United got Casemiro from Real Madrid in a deal worth 70 million, with add-ons included. Moving on to Victor Lindelof, I'm going to give him a 7 out of 10. I thought he did fine at the back. Obviously, we had quite a few centre-halves missing, didn't we? Maguire, I've just found out, was out with illness, so he couldn't play yesterday. Obviously, there was no Tiedemann Mengi because he got stretched off in the 1-0 defeat to Real Betis. Obviously, there's no Lisandro Martinez, he's injured. Varane, he's injured at the moment. So, the only option was obviously Casemiro and Lindelof. And obviously, Tuanzebe, I almost forgot to mention, is injured as well. Terrell Malacia, he was playing at left back yesterday. I'm going to give him a 6 out of 10. Average performance by him. Moving on to Scott McTominay. I'm going to give him a 5 out of 10. He misplaced quite a lot of passes, didn't he? But McTominay, to be fair, did provide the assist for Marcus Rashford's second goal. Moving on to Christian Eriksen. He's going to get a 7 out of 10. Obviously, he scored Manchester United's first goal from close range. I thought he controlled the midfield well. Played some good passes through. Don't forget, Eriksen scored his first goal for the club in the 2-1 away win against Fulham. Eriksen has made a fantastic impact since he came to Man United. Man United signed Christian Eriksen on a free transfer. When he officially signed for the club, he signed a 3-year contract. Moving on to Bruno Fernandes. I'm going to give him a 6 out of 10. I thought it was a pretty average performance by Bruno Fernandes. By the way, he did receive a yellow card in the game. As you all know, Bruno Fernandes has been a United player for 2.5 years now. Manchester United got him from Sporting Lisbon back in January 2020. But I've got to be honest with you, Fernandes does look a far superior player without Ronaldo in the team. Because revert back to when Ronaldo was at United, when they played together, for some reason we just couldn't seem to get the best out of Bruno Fernandes. Moving on to Marcus Rashford. I'm going to give him a 8 out of 10. He scored a wonderful solo goal. And I also thought Rashford made some very good runs on that right-hand side. Rashford is enjoying a very good season to his standards. He's doing well for Man United. He has over 100 goals for the club now. Revert back to September, he got named Premier League Player of the Month. Man United have just recently extended Marcus Rashford's contract, as you are all aware. Rashford has been part of the club for a long time. He came up our academy. He's been a United player since the age of 7 and he broke into our senior squad back in 2016. As you all know, for quite some time, PSG have been interested in signing Rashford. The PSG president confirmed that PSG were interested the other week. And it said that Man United had slapped a price tag of 80 million on Rashford. But anyway, moving on to Alejandro Garnacho. I'm going to give him a 6 out of 10. He was unlucky not to score early on. He did have a couple of chances. He looks a very good young asset, does Garnacho, to be honest with you. Don't forget he scored the winner in the 2-1 away win against Fulham before the World Cup. He got 2 assists in the 4-2 win against Villa in the Carabao Cup third round, and he scored his first senior goal in the 1-0 win against Real Sociedad. Revert back to around 6.5-7 months ago now. Garnacho scored twice in the FA Youth Cup. A few weeks ago it said that Man United was set to give Garnacho a new contract worth around £50,000 a week. At the moment, Garnacho earns around £5,000 a week. He's under contract with Man United until 2025. Anthony Martial, he was playing up top. I'm going to give him a 6.5. He did have some good chances in the game, so he was actually unlucky not to score. Would you say now that Anthony Martial is the replacement for Ronaldo? He's done well in games this season, Martial, but to be honest, he hasn't played a lot of games because he has been hampered with injuries. Martial is under contract with Man United till 2024. He's been at the club since 2015. Man United got him from Monaco last season. Martial was out on loan with Sevilla. Man United brought substitutions on in the game. Didn't we win around 4 or 5? I think Brandon Williams came on in the game. I'll give him a 5 out of 10. Didn't Luke Shaw come on as well? I'll just give him a 6 out of 10. Don't forget Man United extended Luke Shaw's contract recently. Didn't Fred come on in the game as well? Give him a 5 out of 10. Man United recently extended his contract. And I can't remember the other 2 players that came on. But anyway, that is most of your player ratings for Manchester United's 2-0 win against Burnley. You know, Man United are into the quarterfinals of the Carabao Cup. Be interesting to see who Man United get in the quarterfinals. But, you know, that game yesterday night against Burnley, I thought it was a very entertaining game of football. You know, Man United had the chances. You know, Burnley played their part as well. You know, at times, they looked dangerous on the counter-attack. They played some good stuff. They had chances of their own, like I mentioned on the match action. That Manuel Benson looked very dangerous for Burnley. Goodmanson as well, you know, he looks dangerous at times as well, and I do recall him having a couple of chances. But, you know, seriously, you know, Burnley are a decent team. They're doing very well in the Championship, the top of the Championship, so it's looking very likely that they're coming back up to the Premier League. And you've got to say they're doing well with, obviously, the players they've lost. You know, they lost the likes of Ben Mee to Brentford, lost James Tarkowski, lost Dwight McNeil, lost Nick Pope, lost Chris Wood to Newcastle, and he was definitely a key player for Burnley. So they are some of the players that Burnley have lost. And obviously the Burnley manager is Vincent Kompany. You know, he's been the Burnley manager now for, what, a good 6 months. He got appointed in as the Burnley manager back in June this year. When he got officially appointed in as the Burnley manager, he signed a 4 or 5 year contract, did Vincent Kompany. Before Burnley, Vincent Kompany was the player manager at Anderlecht. Vincent Kompany replaced Sean Dyche, didn't he? Because Burnley decided to part ways with Sean Dyche back in April. And Sean Dyche was a very long-serving manager at Burnley. The last time Man United played Burnley at Old Trafford in the Premier League, Man United won 3-1. But revert back to 2020, Burnley won at Old Trafford 2-0, and that was the first time they'd won at Old Trafford in like 58 years. So now guys, that's everything to update you with. Drop your comments, likes below on the channel if you do consider subscribe as always, and take care. God bless. See you all again very soon.